kunja vihari. Gopi jana vallabha Jaya Girivaradari Yashoda Nandana Rajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nama Om Vishupraya Krishna Mastai Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharne Nivashesha Shundibari Pasatari Shatarne. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Sati Gaura Bhatta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. If you're new here, my name is Dan. I'm a former monk, and I help people become more Krishna conscious. Because the biggest, there's no scarcity, there's no lack of anything in this world. There's only a lack of Krishna consciousness. I realize that more and more because I used to live in Vrindavan all the time, and I was just around Krishna all the time. But then when I came back to America, I just see there's a huge lack of Krishna consciousness here. So, Bhagavad-Gita As It Is, Chapter 2. Translation. Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion and very sorrowful, his eyes brimming with tears, Madhusudan, Krishna spoke the following words. Purport. Material compassion, lamentation, and tears are all signs of ignorance of the real self. Compassion for the eternal soul is self-realization. The word Madhusudan is significant in this verse. Lord Krishna killed the demon Madhu, and now Arjuna wanted Krishna to kill the demon of misunderstanding that had overtaken him in the discharge of his duty. No one knows where compassion should be applied. Compassion for the dress of a drowning man is senseless. A man fallen in the ocean of nescience cannot be saved simply by rescuing his outward dress, the gross material body. One who does not know this and laments for the outward dress is called a Shudra, or one who laments unnecessarily. Someone who laments unnecessarily. Arjuna was a Kshatriya, and this conduct was not expected from him. Lord Krishna, however, can dissipate the lamentation of the ignorant man, and for this purpose, the Bhagavad Gita was sung by him. This chapter instructs us in self-realization by an analytical study of the material body and the spirit soul, as explained by the Supreme Authority, Lord Sri Krishna. This realization is made possible by working with the fruit of being situated in the fixed conception of the real self. Text number 2. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha Kutastva Kashmalam Idam Vishami Samupastitam Arnarya Justam Asvargyam Akirti Karam Arjuna. Translation. Sri Bhagavan the Supreme Personality of Godhead, said, Kuta, wherefrom, Chwa, unto you, Kashmalam, dirtiness, Idam, this lamentation, Vashami, this hour of crisis, Samupastitam, arrived, Narya, persons who did not know the value of life, Jushtum, practiced by, Asvargyam, that which does not lead to higher planets, Akirti, infamy, Karam, the cause of Arjuna, O Arjuna. Translation. The Supreme Person Bhagavan said, My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the progressive values of life. They do not lead to higher planets, but to infamy. Purport. Krishna and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. Therefore, Lord Krishna is referred as Bhagavan throughout the Gita. Bhagavan is the ultimate in the absolute truth. Absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding, namely Brahman, or the impersonal, all-pervasive spirit, Paramatma, or the localized aspect of the Supreme within the heart of all living entities, and Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, this conception of the absolute truth is explained thus: Vedanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam parameti paramatmeti Bhagavan iti shabdyate. The absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding by the knower of the absolute truth, and all of them are identical. Such phases of the absolute truth are expressed as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. These three divine aspects can be explained by the example of the sun, which also has three different aspects, namely the sunshine, the sun's surface, and the sun planet itself. One who studies the sunshine only is a preliminary student. One who understands the sun's surface is further advanced, and one who can enter into the sun planet is the highest. Ordinary students who are satisfied simply by understanding the sunshine, its universal pervasiveness, and the glaring effulgence of its impersonal nature may be compared to those who can realize only the Brahman feature of the absolute truth. The student who has advanced still further can know the sun disk, which is compared to the knowledge of the Paramatma feature of the absolute truth. The Brahman is like, I would say, like the energy. And the Paramatma is like super soul in the heart. And then the Bhagavan is God. And the student who can enter into the heart of the sun planet is compared to those who realize the personal features of the supreme absolute truth. So if you can realize the personal features of the supreme absolute truth, that's the highest realization. Realizing that Krishna is God, the supreme personality of Godhead, and he has a human-like form. Okay, even the Bible says something like that. Man is designed in God's image, right? So Krishna's original form is his two-handed form, and we are created in the image of God. So that's why we have two hands. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8. Te nini yodakam surve vilapya cha brisham puna apluta hari parab ja rajasuta sarija jale. Translation. Word for word translation. Te, all of them, Niniya, having offered, Udakam, water, survey, every one of them, Vilapya, having lamented, Cha and Brisham, sufficiently, Puna, again, Apluta, took bath, Hari, Parab, Ja, the lotus feet of the Lord, Raja, dust, Puta, purified, Sarit, of the Ganges, Jale, in the water. Translation. Having lamented over them and sufficiently offered Ganges water, they bathed in the Ganges, whose water is sanctified, due to being mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. Text 3. Tatra sinam kuru patim dhritarashtram sahanujam gandarim putra shokartam pritam krishnam cha madhava. Translation. Tatra there, Asinam sitting, Kuru Patim, the king of the Kurus, Dhritarashtra, Saha Anujam with his younger brothers, Gandari, Putra, son, Ashoka, Artam, overtaken by bereavement, Pritam, Kunti, Krishnam, Draupadi, Cha, also Madhava, Lord Shri Krishna. Translation. There sat the king of the Kurus, Maharaj Yudhisthira, along with his young brothers, and Dhritarashtra, Gandari, Kunti, Draupadi, all overwhelmed with grief. Lord Krishna was also there. Purport. The battle of Kurukshetra was fought between family members, and thus all affected persons were also family members like Maharaj Yudhisthira and brothers Kunti, Draupadi, Subhadra, Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, and her daughters-in-law, etc. All the principal dead bodies were in some way or other related with each other, and therefore the family grief was combined. Lord Krishna was also one of them as a cousin of the Pandavas and the nephew of Kunti, as well as a brother of Subhadra, etc. The Lord, therefore, was equally sympathetic toward all of them, and therefore he began to pacify them befittingly. Text 4. Santvayam asa munubir hata bandun suchar pitam bhuteshu kalasya gatim darshayan na pratikriyam. Santvayam asa, pacified, Munibi, along with the Munis present there, Hata Bandhu, those who lost their friends and relatives, Chuchar Pitan, all shocked and affected, Abuteshu, unto the living beings, Kalasya of the supreme law of the Almighty, Gatim, reactions, Darshayam, demonstrated, Nano Prati Kriyam, remedial measures. Citing the stringent laws of the Almighty and the reactions upon living beings, Lord Sri Krishna and the Munis began to pacify those who were shocked and affected. Purport. The stringent laws of nature under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be altered by any living entity. The living entities are eternally under the subjugation of the Almighty Lord. So you're eternally under the subjugation of the Mighty Lord. You're not free. You're never free. Okay, we're not free. Due to illusion, we think we're free somehow. We think we're free, even though we're not. That's called Maya. When you think you're free, but you're not, it's called Maya. It's illusion. The Lord makes the living entities are eternally under the subjugation of the Almighty Lord. The Lord makes all the laws and orders, and these laws and orders are generally called dharma or religion. No one can create any religious formula. Bona fide religion is able to abide by the orders of the orders of the Lord. The Lord's orders are clearly declared in the Bhagavad-Gita. Everyone should follow him or his orders, and that will make all happy, both materially and spiritually. As long as we are in the material world, our duty is to follow the orders of the Lord. And if by the grace of the Lord we are liberated from the clutches of the material world, then in our liberated stage also we can render transcendental loving service unto the Lord. Either way, we have to serve the Lord, whether we like it or not. If you don't like it, you have to stay in the material world and serve the Lord in the material world, birth, death, old age, and disease. You can't avoid it. In our material stage, we can see neither ourselves nor the Lord for want of spiritual vision. So, there we go. Reading from Krishna book, Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Krishna book, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Continuing on, the chapter is called The Meeting of Nanda and Vasudev. He gave the Brahmanas not only cows in charity, but also hills of grain decorated with ornaments and golden bordered cloth. In the material world, we possess riches and wealth in many ways, but sometimes not in very honest and pious ways, because that is the nature of accumulating wealth. Woohoo! That's the nature of accumulating wealth. Not very honest or pious ways. According to Vedic injunction, therefore, one should purify such wealth by giving cows and gold in charity to the Brahmanas. There you go. So if you're earning wealth in not like legitimate ways, well, then give some, give wealth to the cows. Give to cows and Brahmanas. A newborn child is also purified by gifts of grain and charity to the Brahmanas. In the material world, it is to be understood that we are always living in a contaminated state. We therefore have to purify the duration of our lives, our possessions of wealth, ourself. We can purify our duration of life by taking daily bath and cleansing the body inside and outside and accepting the 10 kinds of purificatory processes. By austerities, by worship of the Lord, and by distribution of charity, we can purify possession of wealth. This is insightful stuff. We can purify ourselves by studying the Vedas in order to understand the absolute truth and achieve self-realization. It is therefore stated in the Vedic literature that by birth everyone is born a Shudra, that by accepting the purificatory process one becomes twice born, that by studying the Vedas one becomes a Vipra, which is the preliminary qualification for becoming a Brahmana, and that when one perfectly understands the absolute truth, he becomes a Brahmin, and when the Brahmin reaches further perfection, he becomes a Vaishnava or a devotee. In Krishna's, so the highest level is to become a devotee. It's not to become a Brahmin, it's to become a devotee. In Krishna's birth ceremony, all the assembled Brahmanas began to chant different kinds of Vedic mantras to invoke all good fortune for the child. There are different kinds of chanting known as Sutta, Magadha, Vidija, and Varudavali. Along with this chanting of mantras and songs, bugles and kettle drums are sounded outside the house. On this occasion, the joyous vibrations could be heard in all pasturing grounds and all the houses. Within and outside of the houses, there were varieties of artistic paintings done with rice pulp, and scented water was sprinkled everywhere, even on the roads and streets. Ceilings and roofs were decorated with different kinds of flags, festoons, and green leaves. The gates were made of green leaves and flowers. All the cows, bulls, and calves were smeared with a mixture of oil and turmeric and painted with minerals like red oxide, yellow clay, and manganese. They wore garlands of peacock feathers and were covered with nice colored cloths and gold necklaces. When all the ecstatic cowherd men heard that Nanda Maharaj, the father of Krishna, was celebrating the birth ceremony of his son, they became spontaneously joyful. They dressed themselves with very costly garments and ornamented their bodies with different kinds of earrings and necklaces, and wore great turbans on their heads. After dressing themselves in this gorgeous way, they took various kinds of presentations and thus approached the house of Nanda Maharaj. As soon as they heard that Mother Yashoda had given birth to a child, all the cowherd women became overwhelmed with joy, and they also dressed themselves with various kinds of costly garments and ornaments and smeared scented cosmetics on their bodies. As the dust of the lotus flower exhibits the exquisite beauty of the flowers, all the gopis, cowherd women, applied the dust of kumkum on their lotus-like faces. These beautiful gopis took their different presentations and very soon reached the house of Nanda Maharaj Nanda. Overburdened with their heavy hips and swollen breasts, the gopis could not proceed very quickly toward the house of Nanda Maharaj. But out of ecstatic love for Krishna, they proceeded as quickly as possible. Their ears were decorated with pearl rings. Their necks were decorated with jeweled lockets. Their lips and eyes were decorated with different kinds of lipstick and ointment. And their hands were decorated with nice golden bangles. As they were very hastily passing over the stone road, the flower garlands which were decorating their bodies fell to the ground, and it appeared that a shower of flowers was falling from the sky. From the movement of the different kinds of ornaments on their bodies, they were looking still more beautiful. In this way, they all reached the house of Nanda Yashoda and blessed the child. Dear child, you live long just to protect us. While they were blessing child Krishna in this way, they offered a mixture of turmeric powder, oil, yogurt, milk, and water. They sprinkled this mixture not only on the body of child Krishna, but on all other persons who were present there. Also, on that auspicious occasion, there were different bands of expert musicians playing. When the cowherd men saw the pastimes of the cowherd women, they became very joyful, and in response, they also began to throw yogurt, milk, clarified butter, and water upon the bodies of the gopis. Then both parties began to throw butter on each other's bodies. Nanda Maharaj was also very happy to see the pastimes of the cowherd men and women, and he became very liberal in giving charity to the different singers who were assembled there. Some singers were reciting great verses from the Upanishads and the Puranas. Some were glorifying the family ancestors, and some were singing very sweet songs. There were also many learned brahmanas present, and Nanda Maharaj, being very satisfied on this occasion, gave them different kinds of garments, ornaments, and cows in charity. Beautiful. You just got to visualize it. Visualize it. See that? Visualization. Storm in the nation. It's snowing. It's snowing in Michigan. Ready? Harinam, 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 Eva Kevalam, Kulon, Nasteva, 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 Gantir, Anyata. There's chanting the holy name is the main thing in this age of Kali Yuga. Chanting and dancing, especially in public, is the highest spiritual activity that you can do. Okay, so I'm going to chant and dance. Well, I'm not going to really dance. I'm going to chant for the benefit of everybody, myself included, and for the pleasure of Sri Sri Radha Shamasundar. Okay. Nitai Goranga Jaya, Nitai Goranga, Nitai Goranga Jaya, Nitai Goranga, Nitai Goranga Jaya Gora Hari, Nitai Goranga Jaya Gora Hari, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana Gora Hari, Jaya Sachinandana Gora Hari, Goranga Goranga, Goranga Goranga, Nityananda Nityananda, Nityananda Nityananda, Nityananda Goranga Goranga, Nityananda, Nityananda Goranga Goranga, Nityananda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Jai Radhe, Jai Jai Sham, Jai Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham, Jai Jai Nitai, Jai Jai Gaur, Jai Jai Shri Damayapur. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe, Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Radhe Shama Sundar Radhe, Radhe Radhe Shama Sundar Radhe, Radhe Shama Sundar, Radhe Shama Sundar, Jaya Nanda Yashoda Dula, Girivaradari Gopal, 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 Radha, 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 Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Gaurani Jaya Krishna Balaram, Jaya Radha Shama Sundar, Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Muna Devi, Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham, Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Nittai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nittai Gaura Haribo, Nittai Gaura Premanani Hari Haribo, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Sham. Hare Krishna. Chant Hare Krishna, be happy.